Thanks a lot, guys. I
Yeah,
really
you bet.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I do
Thank you.
appreciate being here.
And
So
let's get back. Speaking of that social media, that
I
Steve
got
Cole
a,
talked
yeah, I got a
about.
couple other one. I got one
Here he
from
comes.
Jennifer Burns. Meatballs. Shout out to Gatu and Baby Kevin. Stay black and you better do it right. I like that. That's a good one. Here's another one from Dawn. To Biz Morrison from New Jersey. We love you. Go Army. We are so proud of you and your cousin, Private John Kellum. How about you?
Shout out to trombone player Eric Gomez from fellow band member Ashley Kano. Everyone in the Palmview Lobo band loves you and wishes you nothing but the best. And then we keep going. There's Justin and Zach. Congratulations. Words cannot describe the pride that we have for you. You have brought honor and joy to all of West Bloomfield. Your fellow band members, directors, and entire community are so excited for you, and we cannot wait to see you perform. You represent the class, tradition, and excellence of West Bloomfield Marching Band, and we are so proud of you. Show them the Laker loud, gentlemen. Who, we? Mr. Figlowitz, I hope I got that right. Mr. Figlowitz is what I'm guessing. Mr. Mielens and Mr. Ebert, your teachers, Justin and Zach, are extremely proud of you. Can you imagine?
And you're doing a good job of walking the pronunciation gauntlet.
Yeah, this is Carolyn Spang. Shout out to Dan Hoffman, Sousa player. Don't forget all us little people back at home in New York. Ian misses you. The WG Wind Ensemble. It's awesome that this is such an honor that all the colleagues of the students are waiting for them to get back home to hear the inside story and what it was like to live a week like this at the very top of the high school band world. This is DJ Handy's mom and dad. To DJ Handy, percussion, your mom and dad are very proud of you. Love you very much. Samantha Chase, my mom can't tweet, so she asked me to send you this message for Samantha Chase. Nana and Grandpa love you and are proud of you. Thanks, Sandy Chase. It's awesome, and it's wonderful that everybody's shouting out for their students. From Jonathan Lucien, shout out to piccolo player Sean Kelly. Thanks for being so awesome and representing us here in Wellington. From all over the United States, we're hearing from these people. Hey, this is for DJ Handy, Noble, Oklahoma, percussionist. Nana loves you and is very proud of you. And Christine Donahue, shout out to Elizabeth Epstein. My niece Elizabeth Epstein is the only clarinet player there representing the state of Kentucky. We just wanted to let her know that the family is watching this broadcast and we miss her. We are extremely proud of all her accomplishments and can't wait to see her in the halftime show tomorrow. We love you, Elizabeth, and much love from Auntie and Uncle Gary. Way to go. Elizabeth Madden again wants to see the piccolos. We're going to try to get a piccolo shot. It's really hard to get close with such an intense rehearsal going on.
My son marches surf. So
let's see what else we got. Here we go. Kevin Mounts of Hagerstown, Maryland. Richard, Tuba Kid Mounts. That's what that says. Watching you grow into the fine musician that you are today. I can't tell you how excited we are to see you performing here in San Antonio. Love you, Mom. Sherry Toole, we want to give a shout out from Cleveland, Ohio to Bobby Fisco, trombone player from Bay Village. Congrats and have fun tomorrow. You rock. The group looks and sounds amazing. The Toole family and Grammy Lois. Grammy Lois thinks it's great. Shout out to Bryce Bloford, a clarinet player. Y'all sound great. We love you and are so proud of you. Love Mom and Dad from Auburn, Georgia.
we sat down and explained.
And here we are. We have a guest, Patrick. I'm Sam Falafian.
Chuck Hawkins, how are you?
And I know you.
Do you?
Say yes. We've met one time before.
We did.
But we don't want to talk about that on the air. Yeah, Pat. So tell us.
Yeah. Well, tell us your connection with the All-American Marching Band.
My son is a trumpet player. He's a senior in high school. Auditioned over the process of the last year, and here we are. It's pretty cool.
So you're trying to figure out where I met you before, but actually I was getting out of the elevator and you bumped me. You're a big guy. Let's stand up for a second. Stand up here.
Really?
Yeah, this is a football game, and so I thought you were a football coach, and you took me out, so I figured I better keep quiet because he could kill me if he turns around.
Was that guy with me?
I think that's the guy that was with you. He was bigger than you, right?
That's my son.
Is he bigger
That's
than
my
you?
older son, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's the guy. So that's how I know you from before, is I almost went flat on my back coming out of the elevator.
My apologies.
And the fact that you're not a football coach is because there's a convention of football coaches.
Correct.
Here. And you're the biggest band dad I ever met.
So he's the son's in the band, man. Your whole family's involved in being a band director, right?
Correct.
Wow, that's amazing.
The family tree of band directors.
Correct. My mother was a band director.
Wow.
My brother, his wife, my brother-in-law, and my sister are all band
When your
directors.
mom was a band director, she was the only band director, female band director probably for a little ways, right?
My
Back
mother
in
was the
day.
first woman band director in Fairfax County, Virginia.
Wow, Fairfax County, Virginia, which is first string.
Yeah.
That's amazing. The
Yeah.
first woman. That's
First
amazing.
woman.
And what level did she teach?
In the county, she taught elementary band.
That's it.
So-
Starting them out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you don't know. It's like funeral directors. You always knew you were going to go into the business.
Well, I did go into the business. My real job is I'm a professional firefighter.
Which is
But-
like being a band director.
It's like being a band director. But I have worked with numerous high school bands up and down the East Coast. I came out of a very strong high school band program myself. And so,
Have you been helping bands since you left high school?
oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a tradition that a lot of people don't realize, that it's in you and it stays in you for a very long time.
Well, I spent 4 years in the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps
Oh, that's
at
cool.
Marine Barracks in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, we know
So,
about that. You,
Yeah.
you know, Pat was in the band, and
Yeah.
so you spent the month of June out on the parade deck, right? You know?
June, July, and August.
Yeah.
So,
Friday nights.
We used to go with my family. We'd come up from Miami on the way to see the family in Boston, and we would stop because my dad knew that went on in June. So we used to pull over and we'd go watch that.
There you
and
go.
Come back all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
So, what do you guys want to know? I know you want to know something. What?
Well, now I want to know about G Bugle.
Marine Drum Corps uses G bugles.
That's awesome.
They use it. Yep.
So does that throw you off when you hear the B flat in E flat instruments out here in the field? It sounds right to you?
I'm a musician. Doesn't matter what key it is you play.
What you may not know that David Knox, who's the founder of BandDirector.com, he's a firefighter. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's
really?
a Detroit firefighter. And
Wow.
were you in Fairfax County?
I'm in Fairfax County, yes, sir.
That's an awesome responsibility, being in Fairfax.
It's my job. It's just what I do. I know that's minimizing it to a lot of people, but that's what I do.
When you're a band performer, what was your instrument?
I'm a low brass guy.
Oh, yeah.
Trombone, baritone, and tuba.
Another local, you could tell
You
by
can
the,
hang out, yeah.
the energy
The energy
in the
is-
room when
it
he
sounds
came
like
over.
it sounds like we're in the back of a band rehearsal talking behind our tubas.
That's right. We're about to get yelled at any moment.
So,
That's awesome. Well, we have one of your neighbors, and you probably protect the home of Andrew Hitz, who's watching this broadcast from the Boston Brass. He tours the world and plays the tuba, but he lives in Fairfax County.
yes.
And his wife is a middle school band director there in the county. So
Right.
it's like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
It's a small world out there when it comes to band.
Oh, it's a very small world. It's a truly small world. But, you know, those kids out there, they're putting it on. They're having the background of my family that I have, watching what they're doing in this rehearsal is pretty unbelievable. You know, and you know,
Well, I mean, it's got to be. I mean, for anybody that witnesses what happens in a week, but being from a family, people that have been doing marching band for a long time, looking at 9 months of work happening in 5 days is
right,
awe-inspiring.
right.
Yes.
Well, the process that these kids go through to get here is incredible.
That's right.
The number of kids that are nominated, the way they do the auditions with the videotapes and or the CDs or upload to YouTube or whatever they do, and you know that whole process, and you know then they get selected, and it's like this big relief. But then they start getting the music, and they start getting the drill sent to them, and then they start, you know, they've got to come in here having a lot of this memorized, you know, on their own.
From the beginning.
And they have to be really good at what they do, because there's no way they could memorize all that and just show up and do it. It just couldn't happen. So, but the other thing is the people that are teaching them. It's an incredible group of people. Just an incredible group of professional teachers that at the highest levels. You know, these guys are right on the money. You know, you can hear the kids laugh at rehearsal. It's not like they're all over them. You know, they're having a good time out there. And as the parents, this is the first time we've gotten to see them. Unless you retire a small rehearsal, you know, they've been in their own little world, very highly supervised and taken care of, you know, by the people from the All-American Band people, the staff and all that. They watch these kids pretty carefully, and they stay right on top of them. And our son Jake was visiting with us last night, and it was 5 minutes to curfew, and he stood up and said, "I got to go because if I'm not in their room, they're coming in to check."
Wow.
So
that's cool. That's awesome. When you get as old as him, that whole curfew thing is something that he accepts in a week like this. Good luck next week with the curfew.
Well, somebody was saying, and I've heard a couple different numbers, but I've heard 10, I've heard 23 Eagle Scouts.
Yeah, we're hearing incredible numbers
of Eagle Scouts, and I'm sure there's other organizations out there.
To be valedictorians, number one in the class. Yeah, many of them. Yeah, there are many of them out there. 31 of them out there.
You don't get to this level of what they're doing without being good kids.
Right.
Now they're going to be kids, they're going to play, and they're going to have their moments. But the Army All-American staff has stayed right on top of them. Plus, they've had the Army heroes. The Army members that have been with them, we found out last night at dinner at the barbecue, have gotten some medal for valor. They've got a Silver Star, a Bronze Star, something with a Combat V, something. So those are the Army members that sat at dinner and talked with these kids and have been with them all week.
It's an amazing. It's a once in a lifetime week.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And I can only imagine tomorrow when this place is full of, soldiers that have been in Iraq and Afghanistan. They're going to sit there and look at these kids and go, "That's what I fought for."
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
That's what
they'll understand that. And there's a moment here in the Alamo Dome where the people from the Mountain Division come down rappelling. And nobody told me that was going to happen last year. I thought that was it.
Well, the other part of this whole thing for me is looking around is the support that is coming from national. Used to be Music Educators National Conference, and they've changed the name of it now.
That's right.
They've changed the National Association. They've been here. The manufacturers. I asked Jake. I said, "What are you going to do with your good horn? How are you taking it to Texas?" And he says, "I don't have to take it to Texas. There'll be a horn there waiting for me."
Brand new horn waiting for you.
So he walked out the door with his mouthpiece in hand, and
that's awesome.
And they clothed them, and
very special.
Yeah, the kids got here and they measured them, so their uniforms aren't just some kind of thing that might fit them; it's fitted for them. And so all of that is made from what Jake told us last night, and when we visited with him, was just off the charts.
Yeah, well, that's how we got involved. We've been working with Jupiter and KHS for years now, and one of our first design projects with them was the Quantum Marching Project. So all the brass instruments that are on the field were instruments that Sam and I had a part in the design process. So for us, we've heard lots of different groups play on the instruments that we've designed, but to hear the absolutely creme de la creme of high school students come together and play these instruments the way they're supposed to is something else.
Well, Jake was telling me that they basically haven't had a music rehearsal. They've had drill rehearsal and put the music to the drill.
Yeah, they're doing. We have several staff members come in. It's completely on the fly.
Yeah.
But that's how smart these kids are. They've got it all going on, and they're a very athletic-looking group as well. They're a body type.
In the last 2 hours, we watched them.
2.5. It was like.
They put 6 changes in the show, and the kids have every time they go back and go over those parts, they're right there. They're definitely a solid bunch. So
we got a few shout outs. I got to interrupt you because
there's
amazing things like Greg Mills from the Arizona State marching band, the drum major. He loves the way this band is rehearsing right now. He's crazy about it. And he also says it's funny to watch you guys text online, but what's happening is it's raining texts and it's raining social media of people watching this broadcast. A lot of music educators, a lot of future music educators trying to pick up some tips.
This is cool. We got one here from Heather from it's Gina and Jeff from Oswego High School. So proud of you for representing our program at the All-American Marching Band for the 5th year in a row.
Wow.
That's really amazing.
In Oswego, it's like one of those things. They're sitting out here in T-shirts, and you're up there in Oswego with turtlenecks on. You know, and it's like I used to drive there all the time. That's one cold place right now. San Antonio's a beautiful spot. I got one. I can spot you from a mile away, DJ Handy. Love it, Aunt Vicky. And then
That's great. Well, thanks for coming by.
No problem. Thanks for having me down.
Yeah, you're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Enjoy watching
I kind of
your son.
have a way of tying it together, I guess, with my background and being a parent also.
You're a great visitor to this booth. You know?
I hope everybody that can watches it tomorrow, because it's going to be
astounding.
awesome. And I guess the only people I haven't thanked is the Army themselves. You know, I'm looking around here, and this place is just covered with GoArmy.com, Army Strong.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like to me that they decorated the hotel. I mean, it's
all over town.
It's everywhere.
And the town is Army.
Yeah, and it's being a former Marine, it's a little tough to swallow sometimes. They recognized a Medal of Honor recipient last night at the barbecue who's from the Marine Corps.
Wow.
And the general that spoke highly of the Marine Corps, and I appreciate that. But the Army has done, you watch the buses come and go with the 2 football teams and the cheerleaders and the 3 for the band, and the timing of everything, it's seamless almost.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
It's been a terrific thing for our son, and can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. So I will get out of your way.
Talk to you.
Good to see you.
right.
Thanks so much.
Take
Thank you for being a great interview.
No problem. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Here's some more. To my big brother, Nick Allegro. Hey, Nick, it's Franco. I saw you on the internet. You are doing great. Now I know why you had to practice so much for this, because it's so important. I love you. Keep flipping flag. I am proud of you. Franco, 8 years old. Isn't that cute?
That's awesome.
So it's like I'm proud of his big brother.
So the brother-in-law of that last gentleman that we had on the air is Robert W. Smith.
Wow.
And we can't show you this because I don't have a camera in my hands, which is probably a good thing. But Robert's sitting right up the way here watching his nephew.
Oh, I'm looking at that right now.
And he's here hanging out and taking pictures. And
we'll take your camera and give a secret.
maybe we can go track him down a little bit later.
Robert W. Smith, one of the great composer writers, works with Madison Scouts, and it's just awesome to have him up here. Holly Kinsley, we're so proud of you. Holly is drum major of Northwest High Blazing Blue Marching Band at Tunnel Hill, Georgia. She plays clarinet, bass clarinet, and also sax in a jazz band. We are enjoying watching this entire band tonight. Can't wait to see them again tomorrow. Signed, your grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, and many friends back in Georgia.
It's wonderful.
And as they work on coming off the field, we've got more. Carolyn Spain, Go All-American Band, especially all of you mellophones, the best instrument. Sorry, Dan, Souzas are pretty good too, but they can't beat the Melli. The Melli. It's beautiful. Go Bryce Beaufort. I am so proud of you. Your big sis, Christy. Let's see. Look at this. It's just so many people reaching out. Shout out to DJ Handy, percussionist, Uncle Chad, Aunt Claire, Cousin Kendall. You are the greatest. This is genius.
It's my car alarm. I have to go turn that off. Let me park in the dome.
All-American band member Elizabeth Epstein. I'd like to send a shout out to my niece Elizabeth Epstein from Jeffersontown High School in Louisville, Kentucky. She's a clarinet player and the only band member representing Kentucky. That's awesome. Aunt Debbie, Haley, and Tyler. Alyssa Ritz. Great job, Zach. Good luck on the performance tomorrow. Love you, Lissa. That's awesome. There's tons of shout outs. People saying, how proud they are. And it's such a great thing for the families and teachers of these students. When they come back and they have that Marco Polo experience, it's just amazing. It's like, they bring back so much to their classroom and to their bands. Let's give this a listen. They're working. There's such a fantastic rehearsal pace, being from this world and watching how quickly everything's going. But the number of reps they can get in a 10-minute period is just incredible.
So we had so many people call in today and tweet in about how to be able to watch the halftime show. So tomorrow That's going to be on the website, which is allamericangames.tv. Again, that's allamericangames.tv. That's where you'll be able to see the halftime show, really done up nicely by professional cameras. And we want to just look at this. These are all the states that have been watching the webcast today, from Kentucky, Michigan, West Virginia, Maryland, Tennessee, Georgia, Virginia, Arizona, and Texas. People coming in all over the place. We had a shout out earlier today from Costa Rica, so it's really been fun for this. But again, if you want to watch that halftime show tomorrow and really see what this band has come together and done in 5 days worth of rehearsal, it's at allamericangames.tv. That's the website, allamericangames.tv. Got some more people shouting out?
We have some, but I got to tell you that you should stick with us, because what we're building up to here is a full run of the show, and they're working on the exit, which means we're getting very close. The color guard is getting things ready for a run. They're rolling up flags and getting weapons placed, and so we're building up to a huge finale of this dress rehearsal here, which is the dress rehearsal itself.
This is
non-stop run.
Scott, one we got, because we have Bob Buckner that wrote the drill, right, from Western Carolina, for this wonderful band. So we have Alec Neal. I can speak for the whole band that the Western Carolina University, Pride of the Mountains, wants all this talent on the field. Incredible. They're freaking out about how great the band is.
Yeah, and Bob Buckner's great drill is being dispatched by such a great group of smart and talented people. Very athletic. We've been out here 2.5 hours, and they're not waning. It's not going to happen. They're going to stick with us the whole way.
Yeah, we're getting their shakos. We're getting close to a run through here. Andrew P. Norton writing us in. Cheesehead Cousins are proud of Scott Ashcraft, All-American trombone from Hendersonville, North Carolina. Go, Scotty. So that's cool.
The hair. Andrea. That's Andrea. Get me to Andrea. 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 Nah, he ain't getting it.
So yeah, here they come. So they're coming over here to get their shakos and their rest of the uniform for a run through.
There's some serious amount of talent going on. And this is Andrea Brown's coming over. She's director of the marching band and the orchestra at Georgia Tech. And they were just in the Sun Bowl over in El Paso. Coming right in from El Paso, Texas, in the Sun Bowl. Welcome, Andrea Brown from Georgia Tech.
Hey.
We go way back. We were all on the staff of Phantom Regiment in 2003. You're a fantastic teacher. These mellophones are killing it out there. We're getting shout-outs for people that say that melli are the best section. Is that how you say that? We're not from your world.
I say mellows. That's how I go.
What's it like to be here since Monday with these talented students?
They're absolutely amazing. Done a lot of drum corps, and this is like drum corps, like all condensed into 1 week. Essentially, they have like 24 hours to get all of this on, but finals is tomorrow. I mean, it's not like we have like a whole summer of shows.
Right.
Like it's like. We have it's like intense every days of drum corps, but finals is tomorrow.
Wow.
So they are amazing, absolutely amazing. They work so hard. They run everywhere. They go all the way to the end.
Tell me about how you started the week with them. How did you get them going? How did you break the ice?
We had a welcome dinner, and we had a little time before the dinner started to meet our sections, and we were with our Army Field Band colleagues, and we just kind of went around the circle and introduced ourselves, and we had them tell us an interesting fact about themselves. There's something that we could remember kind of through the week to be like, oh, that's that guy. That's what, so.
That's guy.
That's that melli.
Yeah.
And cool. Tell me about we keep hearing about how bright these students are. So we know that there's a lot of valedictorians in a mellophone section. So it's like, what's it like to teach a brass instrument and everybody gets everything the first time?
It's a little different.
You should try tuba.
Well, and even the tuba section is smart. Come on now.
Yeah, they are. They're incredible. We've been watching.
Yeah.
We always look out for our people.
Yes, I've been very excited to learn that we have at the institute where I teach is definitely very academically challenging and very strenuous entrance requirements. And there are several students on the field today that have been accepted and are considering coming to Georgia Tech. So
And that's an early acceptance. So
Yeah,
that's how smart they are.
Yeah. So
They're,
it's pretty amazing.
They're what do they call it? A lead pipe lock for Georgia Tech. That's
Well,
a smart person.
I'm hoping that they come our way for sure. But they've been accepted to several institutions of that caliber. So that says a lot about how smart these students are.
We had one of our tweets was from somebody in the Western Carolina band that said that they wanted the entire band in their band next year.
Yes.
So
yes.
We'll have an auction, a recruiting auction at the end of the show.
I am sure that there are a lot of directors that would be happy to have all these students. I know that I would love to have any of these mellophone players in the Georgia Tech band or in the Phantom Regiment for that matter.
That's awesome. We said we have a shout out from Grace Malott. Congratulations to Alexandria Lynn. You look incredible in the front on the 40. You look beautiful and you're so talented. Love from your mom, your sister Corrine, Granny, Grandpa, Grandma. Keep up the great work. The flags look beautiful. This is what we've been getting all day, Andrea. It's like families and band directors and cohorts from their band. And it's just, it's a big honor. You can tell how big by how many people are on the webcast right now watching.
It's a big honor to be here working with them.
And we should talk while Andrea is here about how to watch that webcast of the show tomorrow.
That's right. You can be able to see the halftime show in its entirety at allamericangames.tv tomorrow. Allamericangames.tv. What time's the game start?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Noon is the game?
Noon in Central Time. That's what I couldn't remember. So it's Central Time, and that's noon, 1 o'clock East Coast, and for everybody tuning in, it's an incredible scene to watch from the beginning because the mountain troops rappel down the grid work here in the Alamo Dome. It's the scariest thing. Yeah, if you have fear of heights, like I used to be afraid of falling out of my sousaphone, and these people are coming from hundreds of feet up, and there's about 60 of them. They all drop at the same time. Nobody told me that last year. So we were sitting there at a barbecue up in one of those fancy press boxes up there, and I dropped my food. It was like, I thought it was an invasion. I didn't know what was going on. That's the reason why they asked us.
It was a Melai invasion.
Melai invasion.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So you were at Austin Peay University for quite a while.
5 years. 5 years, and then I did a little work on my doctorate at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro.
I like this idea. I did a little work.
How
close are you to?
I'm done. I am Dr. Brown now.
Dr. Brown, I have this bad elbow on the right side here. It's like really.
Melai elbow.
That's right.
And what did you get your doctorate in?
Conducting.
That's cool. And you're conducting the orchestra at Georgia Tech and running the marching band. So
I am one of several wonderful colleagues that work with the marching band at Georgia Tech.
So does that make it a communist marching band? Is that? Well, I'm not sure I understand.
Right. Well, Chris Moore is our fearless leader, and then there's Chip Kratz, who fantastic trumpet player and a lot of brass instruction talent there as well, and B.J. Dyden, and then myself. We all help Chris out with the marching band.
Wow, that's just power. That's a power group you got going on there.
Fantastic.
And do you like living over there in that area?
In Atlanta? It's fantastic.
It's culturally alive.
Yes, lots going on. Never a dull moment in hot Atlanta.
Wow. We have Georgia kids in the band with streams of shout-outs from
yes.
People are so proud of them.
Yes.
That's an awesome
I've
thing.
actually gotten some on my own Facebook page to say hi to so-and-so in the Guard or the... And I've got 3 Georgia kids in the mellophone line.
Oh, that's awesome. Didn't know that. It's Georgia's, growing up from Florida, Georgia always turned out brass players. They were always really great players. From places like Jekyll Island, and it's like, what? That little strip of land has a great band. It was awesome. It was an amazing thing to go to those regional things and listen to what that tradition's all about. And a string of bass trombone players that are legendary, from that area of the country.
Yes.
But that's an amazing, being a bando is an amazing thing when you go state by state. And we used to call it band country. I think it's all over the country now, when you look at this All-American band, what comprises it.
Are we staging up for a run through here?
Yes, some amazing things about to happen here.
Yes. I think we're going to have a couple of runs. Not all full out for the brass and the woodwinds, but definitely some with percussion the entire way. We'll have probably some of the brass and woodwinds singing. And then I'm not sure what Professor Fagan, if how many runs he's going to do of
The full
out.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
this is it. Next thing is that we're in the tunnel tomorrow, right?
I think we have a very short rehearsal tomorrow morning.
So you keep a game day rehearsal.
Yes,
That's
just
good.
to
That's
make
awesome.
sure we go.
So you can add a new 72 count move at the end.
Hopefully not.
Leg out, right? Leg
Right,
out,
right.
leg.
Kick halt.
A lot of your colleagues have described this teaching on the fly, and it's been the whole week, hasn't
Oh
it?
yes. I mean, in the design with the music, the composer, and the drill designer. I think everything's and the guard work. It's all worked really well. But just having to make some adjustments. But the kids have been great about, let's try this and then go with this, and because they're so smart, they're so talented. It's
How many
been
drum
amazing.
majors you got out there? Did anybody figure?
Oh, how many do we
I'm
have?
afraid there's a whole bunch that are probably leadership, right?
Oh yes, Professor Fagan knows that number. I do not remember off the top of my
Is it
head.
pretty high?
Yes, yes, and we have 30-something valedictorians out there.
I'm 125.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah.
something.
But there are several drum majors for sure out there. One that just marched in the Rose Bowl parade.
Yeah, that flew.
We met his band
Yeah.
director. His band director surprised him. He showed up from Pulaski, Wisconsin.
Wow.
Yeah. And he came on. He wanted to talk about the Green Bay Packers the whole time, but we kept steering him back to music. It's like,
Go
But-
Pack.
Well, it's an amazing thing to see you and working here at the top of the high
It's
school
great to
world.
be here. Great to be here.
Congratulations.
It's good to
on
see
that.
you guys.
Have fun at Georgia Tech.
Go Jackets.
Yeah, go Jackets. I remember
great.
that growing up. Being an Orange Bowl guy. I used to live within the shadow of the Orange Bowl. Georgia Tech was down there haunting us a lot, beating up on University of Miami regularly, back in the day.
Hopefully we'll be back to that soon.
I grew up in Minnesota, so the football team, the Gophers, wore skates on the field. It's just so cold.
Nice.
Yeah. So cold. So, is there a whole entrance?
I think they're just practicing exactly what they're going to see and feel tomorrow.
So Professor Fagan's over there in the tunnel. I can see him.
Yes.
So they're gonna. It's
Our
like
fearless
being
leader.
an astronaut. They're gonna take them through the whole experience right
Yes.
now. This is what the tunnel looks like. This is what it feels like.
Look at some of these students haven't experienced something like this. That's what's fantastic about this experience is you've got all kinds of programs represented from all areas of the country that have different experiences as far as these of marching events, and so
There was 2 emails in a row.